Players only love you when they're playing. Children only love you when they're playing. Busy, busy, come and go. Busy, no. My TV remote. Players only love you when they're playing. Children only love you when they're spraying. Busy, come and go. Busy, no. Players only love you when they're playing. Children only love you when they're spraying. Busy, come and go. Busy, no.
What you gonna do? Who here wants to get knocked out? Who you talking to? Oh shit! You want some of this too? Hell no!
Your steed, so giddy up with Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where the techs earn their spurs with 270 hours of training.
We don't have spurs. So this idiot right here violated his parole. Wow. He's out on parole for playing with kids. So they let this imbecile out. Mm-hmm. He violates his parole. And now he's at a revocation hearing. Mm-hmm. And this guy's intellect is disturbing. They should never have let this dude out on parole. Right. I don't even know why they provided him with the hearing. I mean, he's already a sick, demented piece of crap. Why you... I was just making sure about the rest of his sentence. Yeah. Watch this.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's the Committee on Parole, and we're going to be sitting here, and we're going to be interviewing you and talking to you a little bit about the revocation hearing that you got right now.
I love this dude's sex. Yeah.
Mr. Jones, you're at Terrebonne Correctional Center. Is there anybody in the room with you?
No, sir.
Okay, no staff in there. Okay. So we'll just talk to you. So what's your DLC number, Mr. Jones?
Is it 00376190?
Is that correct?
No, 3761.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Terry, didn't I get exonerated?
Did you get what?
Exonerated.
Exonerated.
The black guy understood him. The white guy's like, I don't talk Negro.
No, sir, I don't think you did.
No, sir, I don't think you did. Wait a minute, you had you violated your parole to give me your hearing. Why you saying you got exonerated for what? That's weird.
I got exonerated. I think like 4 or 5 years back, and now y'all said not exonerated anymore. How can that be?
Who you run the game on?
Do you have a form in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Hey, did you sign that form?
This somebody for the coming revocation hearing?
Yes, sir, for this hearing.
No, I was forced to come. The parole officer said that I had to come. He said I had to come, and I deferred it. He said I had to come, though. I don't know why.
Maybe that may help you.
Okay, were you on parole?
I was on parole for drugs, yes, sir.
Okay, and that's why we're here to talk about the fact that you violated your parole.
I violated my parole.
Another invite? Why is everyone getting married at the same time? What about the ranch-themed bachelorette party? Gemini? And Chrome? Which of these weekends works best with my calendar? Perfect. I could totally get married on a horse.
Chipotle honey chicken is back. Grilled chicken, chipotle peppers, and pure honey. It takes heat and sweet to a whole new level.
Hello. Are you tired of your morning routine? Escape the 24/7 freshness with Old Spice Fiji and smell like you've got some PTO from your beer. Looking good, boss.
At Central Bank, we live with you, dream with you, and build relationships with you.
Schedule 29, Coach James Kroger on Dixie 3073 Dixie Highway.
I think that's how he violated. I think he was out on parole for playing with kids. I may be wrong. Maybe the information I got was wrong. But he's saying I think he got paroled. His parole got revoked because they caught him off drugs. Because he's not complying with his conditions of his parole. Why is he playing stupid? I don't think this is an act. I'm pretty sure that you don't think I don't think this is an act. If this is an act, he deserves what is that, an Emmy? Yeah. What's that when you get for acting? Is it an Emmy? I think it's it.
This economy is destroying the American people. This economy is destroying the American people. Rent high, gas high, food high, everything just too damn high. People are struggling real bad right now. And they're warming up about to show you and facing an eviction. And if she don't come up with the rest of that rent money within the next 10 days, her ass gonna be homeless. Check this out.
Shit, so get hard, especially when you got I'm tired. I'm doing everything I can to keep us afloat. It is like this shit working. This shit working, but this just took me 3 months to find a job. And then when I find a job, they get the start date. Here they go, record date for eviction. Like, tired. I'm tired. I don't know what else to say, but I'm tired.
Now, y'all landlords gotta have some type of understanding in these times we in, man, because people doing so bad right now, and coming at them tenants any kind of way could be life-threatening for your ass. Payment plans need to be in place. Extensions need to be considered because people are tired of just living to pay bills and not getting any kind of breathing room. But this the new normal in America nowadays. Carry on.
I ain't got no car. My baby's homeschooled. Like, I don't know what to do at this point. I got $500 to my name. $500. And I gotta come in $3,666 in 10 days, baby. I am looking over, well, exhausted. Stressed is an understatement. I'm tired. I seriously am. As soon as you get settled, thinking that you're going to get some going and get caught up on this, here comes something else. It's like a domino effect, bro. For real. I'm tired.
Now, it's hard to be a single mom with no help. It's hard doing it without your baby daddy or no man in your life. And this is exactly what Donald wants. He wants all us miserable, stressed, and broke. He wants us all dependent on the goddamn government to feed us. Where's the social service program, man? Where are the programs for the struggling single mothers? They already taking food stamps, taking Section 8. They don't give you that no more like they used to, man. It's too hard to fill out the application, and it's too complicated to get approved. Where's the alternative to balance the less fortunate people? But this is just the tip of the iceberg, because it's about to get way worse. Check this out.
I'm sitting inside of Pickens Saks parking lot, just going through it right now, like. And I just feel like I'm at the point in my life where I don't know what the I'm doing. Like, I'm genuinely confused and don't know what I'm doing. Like, I feel like I'm doing everything wrong. Like I got a job, but I just can't keep money. Like, that shit is so stressful. And it's like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm spending my money on. Like, I have poor money management, and it pisses me off. And it's just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with myself. Like,
your problem is the lack of discipline, because you gotta be disciplined to win. You get money, you got a car, you sit in a car, you got income, you got a roof over your head, and you ain't starving. You're doing better than most of America right now. That money is going to wolves, not me. The money you get, you'll probably be online just ordering everything you see. You're probably addicted to the blunt. You're probably addicted to the liquor, and that's a bill that'll break you down. You're gonna just break your bank account down, they're gonna break you down. Because now you got a hangover and can't go to work. You're probably maxing out them credit cards and drowning in debt. So every time you get paid, your money going back to Capital One or Credit One Bank with interest. Y'all gotta learn when to stop spending money that you don't have to impress people that don't like you with the money you don't got. Carry on.
I just can't get right? And it's getting to the point to where it's pissing my boyfriend off, and it's like, I don't want to be up in leech. I don't want to just be around taking, like, this shit is so unfair because I don't know what the fuck to do, right? I literally had to step outside and just cry because it's like, what the am I doing? I'm sitting here playing. I'm wasting my time. I'm not doing shit for myself. I'm 23 years old and ain't got shit. I got a car from my mama that I got a car and it's only a year left off on the payments, and it's like I'm struggling to keep up with the shit. I get paid 4 times a week. There should be no way. There should be no fucking way that I can't pay the car note on time.
Well, I hate to tell you this, you definitely a leech right now, and you playing victim because you just said you making the money, but you don't know where the money going. Why you don't just cut up your debit card and credit card and let them paychecks just stack until you get out the red and start seeing the green? Think about what I'm saying. Men don't like broke women. It's only so long you gonna be sitting up under a man, cash out for requesting him every day, PayPaling him every day, Venmo request every day. Don't nobody want to deal with that, especially in this economy. But how is it you got a job and you can't even pay your car note? Carry on.
Like, the car note is due every 2 weeks. I get paid 4 times a month. I get paid every week. There should be no way I'm struggling to fucking pay $200 every 2 weeks. Like, I have a good ass job. I work at Amazon. Like, I make good money. But it's just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm spending my money on. Like, every paycheck is just so short because I just so used to taking out. Like, I need another side hustle to where I don't have to take out of my check. Like, I'm trying to do the hair shit, but ain't nobody really with me down to the hair shit because I'm in a hating city that only support popular people with a bigger fan base. Like,
well, the first thing we need to do is take that goddamn bonnet off and show your goddamn work. We can't see past that goddamn bonnet. We don't know what you do. We just hear you talking. Then you need to be on the internet posting all the hairstyles you can do so all the women can see what you can do. Because I don't care how bad they be hating in your goddamn city. If you good, them folks gonna book you. You don't need 1 million followers to pop off. All you got to do is cut your prices in half for the popping girl and show what you can do. You just need to become that girl that everybody go to for they have to. Carry on.
I tried the hair shit. It's just, I get discouraged every time. I am still a beginner, but how am I supposed to perfect my craft if nobody comes to me? Like, I know how to do wigs. I know how to do braids. Like I need another side hustle so that I don't take out my check. And I know this is nobody else's problem. Like, this is a problem that I gotta get together, but it's just like I'm so confused and lost on what the I'm doing with my life, because I'm not doing shit.
Now just think about this. She's 23 years old, she got a job at Amazon warehouse, and she got a man in there helping her, and she's still struggling. Now if she broke and he broke, they need to break it up, because that relationship don't make no sense. But what y'all think? Comment below y'all thoughts, man. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Is this economy really hard to do? People got poor money management. People got bad decisions. People got poor choices in life. Are you making the money, or are you getting high and getting drunk, and that's why you ain't got the money? Comment below, man. Let this girl know what to do in the comment, because everybody online begging now, posting their cash out, posting stories like this just to post it. Because everybody online begging right now, using stories like this to come up off you while you actually working and saving your money. We need to start offering advice. Because if I give you a fish, you're going to eat for a day. But if I teach you how to fish, you'll eat for a lifetime. But if I teach you how to buy a pond, You will never know poverty. You or your family will never be poor or never know poverty for the rest of your life. Y'all comment below, y'all hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all share this video and y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Then Nino Brown 305. We the business.
To switch phones, you have to be open to what's new. And to what opens.
Residents. For the next 3 to 8 years of their lives, they will spend nearly every waking moment here. And while the faces of interns change each year, some things never do.
Why did you do that in there?
Your team goes.
I remember at one point in time, everybody thought Jim Carrey was crazy, but now we're realizing that he was actually onto something, exposing Hollywood, exposing all the crazy things that are going on, like them, you know, doing the Cambodian foreskin facials and things like that Ellen DeGeneres doing. But Jim Carrey is one of the greatest actors of our generation, in my opinion, and he's my biggest inspiration when it comes to my comedic style and the way I approach trying to be funny. Let's get off into this. We'll cover some comments at the very end. If you do enjoy the video, you do enjoy the channel, don't forget to subscribe, dude. It's super simple and something you can do to help support for free.
If there's one actor who clearly beat Hollywood, it's Jim Carrey, and he exposed all the people within it. In his very first film, he propelled himself to fame, soon becoming one of the world's most beloved actors. Whether it's his mastery of physical comedy or his electric presence, there's no question that Jim Carrey's got that special something.
I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join.
But despite his long list of hits, Jim Carrey never really fit into the rest of Hollywood. He certainly got his enemies in the industry, from other actors who took offense to his no-holds-barred personality, to producers looking to control his artistic expression. It explains why, despite his massive success as a comedic and dramatic actor, he's been completely snubbed by the big award shows. But even beyond that, it's clear to anyone who's ever seen him interviewed that Jim Carrey is completely beyond the performative dishonesty at the heart of Hollywood, and he makes fun of all the people playing along with it. So let's explore how his unflinching honesty and unwillingness to play along with the lie has exposed Hollywood and its celebrities for what they really are. Like most of the good actors in Hollywood,
they're vampires, they're lizard people.
Jim Carrey came from pretty much nothing. Born in Ontario, Canada, Jim had a modest upbringing living with his parents in the outskirts of Toronto. His family weren't rich by any means, in fact they could barely scrape by. His father, who at his heart was an entertainer, had been forced to give up his craft to support his family. While he never lost his energetic spark, it did leave him stranded for years in a dead-end accounting job. Meanwhile, his mother was often unwell, something which he would often open up about in interviews later on in his life. My mum was addicted to pain medication. She was very sick in lots of ways. She was lovely too, but she was a child of alcoholics and she had issues. And that's not intentional abandonment. She was always there for me. She was always there in that.
Chad, do you guys have alcoholics that run in your family? See, I don't have any alcoholics that run in my family. Most of the runners in my family run, not the alcoholics.
Father, and to try and make his mother feel just a little bit better, he would spend hours practicing his comedy, nailing his facial expressions and his impressions of other people. By the age of 10, he had over 100.
They do say that people that are raised in toxic environments, especially children, do tend to have a better sense of humor because it's a coping mechanism for children. And that was exactly my case as well.
100 of them stored up in the bank, all of which had been painstakingly crafted to be as accurate as possible. He would spend his teenage years perfecting them even further, but life got in the way all too often. By the time he was 16, Jim Carrey's father had lost his job, and approached his family on the brink of poverty. Eventually, they were forced to leave town, surviving by living in a small camper van on a relative's lawn.
I mean, because people know you live in actually would go around to, you know, one time we, for a while, we pitched a tent on my sister's lawn, really the country. And then for a while we went to campsites around, you know, Ontario. We had more fun there than we did when we were doing this job that we didn't like. The janitor job. Yeah, the janitor job.
Jim left school.
You know what's so funny? Y'all remember that Chris Farley skit on SNL? All over the river, down by the river. Isn't it funny that living in a van down by the river now is kind of a flex? Like, whoa, you have a camper van, dude? That's super sweet, man. You guys got a Winnebago. You guys can pitch a tent. You gotta go anywhere you want to go. There's a completely different connotation now to living in a van down by the river than there used to be. And there's also a completely different connotation on the fact that you guys can go down a free cash and get $1 on me is super simple. Scan the QR code, link in the description. I got guys in the Discord that have made $600+. I got another guy that's made over $2,000. You can get paid out when you get $20. I'm getting you halfway there, so it's super simple. Click the link in the description, scan the QR code. Don't ever say love you more than Alright, let's get back on.
So the opposite, having to work crummy moves just to make sure his family doesn't have to leave. But even at this low point in his early life, he still found the time to work on making people laugh. It was in his late teens that he began performing at stand-up comedy nights, something he was almost immediately successful at. At first, Jim was understandably focused on his impressions. They did the job of making people laugh after all, and he was already one of the best in the business. Even at this point, Jim Carrey's career was proof that if you really want something, you have to work harder than everyone else. But as his career started to open up, and he started gaining traction, Jim threw nearly all of it out, and started creating his own irreverent, unpredictable material. Often it didn't work quite as well. Audiences that would have enjoyed all of his earlier work were suddenly on a knife's edge. You never knew whether his next joke would bring everyone to tears or completely flop. He had a talent for putting everything on the line, using his expressions in such a way that you could tell he wasn't holding back anything. This courageous vulnerability was going to be the key to his success, as we could see in later years. From his father's experiences, he knew that second.
And also, the thing is with Jim Carrey, and I think the reason impressions work so well, is because it's like covering the song of somebody who's already popular. So when you're doing this, you're already relating it to a celebrity. So if you need really good impressions, this is a great way.
You're a runner, you're a track star.
Next up, I'm going to take you out to Polk County, Florida. That is where the sheriff, Grady Judd, is giving an update on what he is calling a Florida dope-smoking pastor.
Honesty has always been our policy, but the choir's new.
You have farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
You craving what I'm craving? Penn Station.
Oregon is a bitch-ass state, dude. And please understand that when I say Oregon, I mean the state government of Oregon. The people that run it are absolute bitches. Because listen to me, there are a whole lot of really intelligent, reasonable, common sense, salt-of-the-earth people that live here in Oregon. The scenery is absolutely beautiful. The majority of the year, the weather is ass, but it keeps it nice and green. But the people that run this state are violently retarded, and the laws that they have passed are absolutely insane. Whether we're talking about decriminalizing all drugs, which had catastrophic effects on the streets of Oregon, being the very first and longest standing sanctuary state in the country, making it an absolute refuge for people who snuck in our country illegally and completely unvetted, or our free health care, which encourages the transitioning of minors from one gender to another. This state is an absolute shithole. But probably the most embarrassing and insidious part of living in the state of Oregon is that it is known countrywide as a sanctuary for pedophiles due to its soft-on-crime laws and its sentencing structure around those particular crimes. In today's video, we are going to be taking a deep dive into the insanity that has become the state of Oregon, and we're going to be taking a look at who's actually behind all of this, and there's a high probability that I'm going to catch my ass a lawsuit. So let's take a second to hear a word from today's sponsor. Nobody plans for pain, suffering, lost wages, or the stress that can follow an accident, but when the unexpected happens, having the right law firm on your side can make all the difference. There's a reason that you prepare for the unexpected, just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Listen, if you need brain surgery, you wouldn't have your mechanic perform the operation. Just like if somebody stole your catalytic converter, you wouldn't hire a brain surgeon to replace it. Morgan & Morgan has over 35 years experience fighting for the people. They have recovered over $30 billion for their clients. Hiring Morgan & Morgan is like hiring an army to go into battle. If someone else's negligence has turned your life upside down, you may be entitled
She run away
to
when it get
compensation.
hard.
If you are ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, and their fee is free unless you win. To see if you have a claim, you can go to forthepeople.com/JDDelay, found in the description. And there's a good chance that by the end of this video, I'll need to call Morgan and Morgan. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, we need to understand exactly what happened to Morgan. Because like I said, there are a lot of good, blue-collar, sane, common sense, rational Americans that live right here in the state of Oregon. In fact, they are the actual majority. USA! 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 But since the year 1987, almost 40 years, we have been under the thumb of Democrat governors who have gotten more and more bizarre and liberal as time has gone on. In fact, since 2015, we have had governors who have been members of the LGBTQ, all of the whole entire alphabet community, which is fine. I fashioned myself to be a little bit of a lesbian myself. But the latest that we have, Tina Kotex, is an absolute nightmare. She's a lesbian, which is not the problem. The problem is her radical belief system and the way she keeps pushing the LGBTQIA everything agenda on our kids, which is absolutely grooming and despicable. In fact, she is the second most lesbian governor in the entire country, following right behind Gavin Newsom. Under her reign, the laws here in the state of Oregon have descended into complete and total insanity. Like, for instance, did you know that in Oregon, it is not illegal for a grown-ass man to be booty-ass naked in front of little kids?
In the state of Oregon, someone can walk up to your 2-year-old kid completely bare naked, and that's not a crime, even if it's on your property.
Correct. Well, so it's trespassing, but what I'm saying is there's no laws against the actual nudity portion of it.
So you can expose yourself to children in Oregon.
Again, if you're not doing it for sexual gratification or the gratification of somebody else, yes, you are allowed to walk around in public naked.
On private property, this is where I live, and someone just came and exposed themselves to my 2-year-old boy. And this officer's saying that it's not a crime.
Which also opens the door for grown-ass men to take pictures of their junk and be able to send it to little kids. And there's nothing that the cops can do about any of it. So I'm here with Alex and Sam. And that didn't go the way that we wanted to. Unfortunately, in the state of Oregon, sending a picture of your to a literal child is not illegal unless you're actually cranking your hog in it. That cop really tried, though, right?
He did. You know, we knew we had limited evidence on this guy because he unfortunately blocked the decoy. After sending all this stuff, and he just would not re-engage with contact, so we hoped he'd have some stuff on his phone that would get him in trouble. But unfortunately, he admitted to receiving stuff too, but he did not possess anything. So he basically got off scot-free. Now, every state around Oregon would charge him for sending him, I thought, was a child, including the liberal kingdom of California. But in Oregon, you are just free from doing that, and he did not get charged with it because he was not cranking his hog.
And this is why we need to change the laws here in Oregon. If you are an Oregonian, you should be pissed about this. Somebody can send a picture of to your kid, and it's not illegal. And even if you do catch one of these child predators so severely that it does actually break one of Oregon's laws, on their first offense, they're probably just going to get probation or a little bit of jail time, unless they're a repeat offender. And when they do go to prison, they are considered a protected class due to the nature of their crime. There is no other type of crime that you can commit and get convicted for where they actually give you protections. But if you hurt a child or a woman, they consider you someone that needs to be protected in prison? That shit right there is hella fake and gay, bro. But why do they have their laws structured like this? Well, if you ask them, they're going to tell you the quiet part out loud because they're not afraid to say it. It's to protect the LGBTQ every stuff community. And I know a whole lot of gay people, and they do not want to be associated with child predators, you weird fucks. Now, in the past, when I didn't like the laws, I would just break them, which had terrible consequences for me, costing me my freedom over and over and over again. But today, being a law-abiding citizen, I'm going to be working to change the laws that I don't like. And I've been hit up by the actual district attorney of Lane County, Chris Perosa, great guy, who is also frustrated with the laws here. We are going to be working with several of the state senators to pass legislation to make this type of vile shit illegal again happen in the state of Oregon. And when we get there, I'm going to need your guys' help because we are going to need a lot of public pressure on these lawmakers to push these laws through so that we can keep the children on the streets of Oregon safe from these absolute fucking demons. And a lot of people have asked me, JD, yes, why would you live in a state that's obviously this bad off? I'm glad you asked. You see, the thing is, my parents live here, and my parents never gave up on me when I had given up on myself. When I was a drug addict, when I was in prison, when I was flailing off in space, they made sure that I could always count on them. And now they're getting on in years, and they need me, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to be here for them and make up for that time that they put into me while I was an absolute degenerate, criminal, drug addict piece of shit. The other part of it is that when I lived here, I did a lot of damage to this community because I was a drug addict and a criminal, and now God has brought me through the other side of that, and part of my mission is to make up for the damage that I did to different communities. I did that in Florida, and now it's my goal to do that here. And I believe that the best way that I can do that is by trying to make these streets safer for our little kids. A lot of people might consider Oregon to be a lost cause, and they might consider running away. I'm not going to run from a bunch of demented, weirdo liberals who can't even figure out what gender they are. It's not in my blood to back down to weirdos, or anyone for that matter. I am going to stand up and fight to make this state a better place. I feel it in my heart that this is what God wants me to do, and this is the mission that I am on right now. And I thank each and every one of you guys for being on this journey with me. There may come a time where I ask you to send some emails or to jump in some comment sections and bully some politicians. But I want you to know at the end of the day, the end goal, our focus is always to make things safer for little kids. I love each and every one of you. And until the next one, it's always one love, baby. Be good or be good. Howdy, Roadrunner. You're very fast.
Well, I drink Red Bull.
But you do realize...
Yes, Red Bull gives you wings, but, I'm scared of heights.
Spam calls and texts never end. It's time to take control with Umail. Safe and simple call and text protection, and more. Block spam automatically. Now spammers won't get through when they call, and you can trick them into thinking your number is disconnected. The people you care about will always ring through. Important calls stay verified, and your voicemail stays junk-free. Safe voicemail. We make sure the calls you don't answer are safe too. That protects you and keeps your inbox clean. Remove your info from the web. Your data is for sale online. Find out where and get removed from data broker sites. Private second line. Use a safe second number for calling and texting while keeping your main number hidden. Trusted by 13 million Americans. Umail is recommended by the Washington Post and has over 96,000 five-star ratings. Umail, your phone number protected.
Officials in Arkansas came across a...
She a runner, she a track star. She a runner, she a track star.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with me today. I'm going to take just a few minutes to lay out what I think you will agree is a horrific set of circumstances. First off, let me introduce you to St. James United American Free Will Baptist Church. And you can see that the preacher is Timothy Cheneyfield. He's 42 years of age. Well, let me show you his picture. This is the preacher. And you go, okay. He's also a child pedophile, a predator. In addition to being a preacher at this church, he's also a chaplain for Compassionate Care Hospice. And if that's not enough, between 2012 and about 2024, he worked for the school system in Polk County. Between 2012 and 2016, he was both a para and a substitute teacher. Then he went into IT, and he worked there until about 2024, and about that time is when he became the lead pastor for St. James. So why do I tell you all of that? Well, because when he was at the schools, he was at Crystal Lake Middle School. We know that he stalked children. How we got into this investigation was simply this. We received a cyber tip from Instagram that there was illicit, inappropriate activity between an adult and a child. It first went to the Auburndale Police Department. They determined this was in the unincorporated area and immediately called us, and immediately we started our investigation. And what we found is that Timothy Cheneyfield went online with a dating app in search of children. And that's what he found. It was a 14-year-old child. Did you hear what I said? A little boy. Then they moved from there over to the Instagram app where they chatted more often. And then Timothy Cheneyfield picked him up in front of his neighborhood on 3 different occasions. And on those 3 different occasions, he wasn't preaching, but he was messing around. On 3 different occasions, he drove to the 14-year-old child's neighborhood, where the 14-year-old child met him at the entrance to the neighborhood. Timothy took the 14-year-old to his home. And when he took him to his home, he engaged the child in sex. So when the investigation came to us, we started intensely looking for Timothy, and we found out during this period of time that he was in Baltimore performing, apparently, a funeral for someone for his Compassionate Care hospice work. He confessed. He confessed that he picked up this 14-year-old child on at least 3 different occasions, took them to Timothy's home in Eagle Lake, where he engaged this child in sex. But that wasn't it. That wasn't all. Timothy is HIV positive. He failed to tell this 14-year-old child that I'm HIV positive, and he had unprotected sex with a child and exposed our 14-year-old victim to HIV. We pray that our work was fast enough because we got our victim, the 14-year-old, the HIV cocktail, that we stopped this child from being infected. But we have a 26-year-old who said that he engaged Timothy Cheneyfield in sex, and now he is HIV positive. Timothy Cheney is an SS. That's not super sport. That's super spreader. And we fear that there's other victims out there because he was very aggressive and very adamant about having sex with apparently adults or children. We talked to the members, or some of the members at St. James. They were shocked. They had absolutely no idea their pastor was like that. We also found that he has been an ordained minister since about 2020, when New Mount Zion Church in Haines City ordained him. And then later St. James in Winter Haven selected him to be the pastor. Well, today he's locked up in jail. He's charged with 3 counts of lewd battery against a child. He's charged with infecting or potentially infecting or having sex with, unprotected sex with a child. There's an HIV statute that if you don't disclose you're HIV positive with your partner, that's another criminal charge. He's charged with traveling to meet a minor. He's charged with computer-related charges. He's charged with possession of marijuana. This is a dope-smoking preacher right here in front of you. He's a dope-smoking pedophile preacher brought before you. And now he's locked up in the county jail where he should be. He was well respected in the community. People trust him. They believe him. And now, well, our plea is, if you've engaged this guy in sex, let us tell you, because he didn't. He's HIV positive. And you need to call us. But the first thing you need to do is run to an emergency room and get the HIV cocktail. And pray that you're not HIV positive. Because after all, he is an SS. A super threat. And he doesn't mind that. I want that to resonate with you for a minute. He groomed a child online, drove to the child's neighborhood, picked him up, took him to his home, had sex with him, and if that's not bad enough, never disclosed to the child that he's HIV positive, so I'm going to have unprotected sex with this child and infect him as well. Jesus don't like that.
So violently mentally ill leftists are trying to cancel Asmongold. Yes, again. I'm going to assume that if you clicked on this video, you probably already know who Asmongold is. But if you don't, he's like one of the biggest streamers on the face of the planet. He started off doing a bunch of World of Warcraft streaming.
Some of my best verses start in the driver's seat.
So violently mentally ill leftists are trying to cancel Asmongold. Yes, again. I'm going to assume that if you clicked on this video, you probably already know who Asmongold is. But if you don't, he's like one of the biggest streamers on the face of the planet. He started off doing a bunch of World of Warcraft streaming, and he's ended up like on the plane and reality of political streaming. Like, he is that dude for the younger generations, and even a lot of the Gen X people like me. Like, he is out here, he is a bastion of common sense and free speech. And, of course, leftists absolutely hate that, because if there's two things they can't stand, it's people with common sense and people that speak freely about whatever the fuck they want to, whenever they want to. So, they are attacking him on two different points, and we're going to get into that in this video today, because I will always stand up for Asmongold. So, let's get into why they're trying to cancel Asmongold today. So the first reason that they're trying to cancel Asmongold right now is because he's racist. You know that word that nobody cares about anymore because they overused it so much that it literally has no meaning, no weight, and no sustenance to it. Like, they literally will call you racist for anything and everything that you could possibly disagree with them on. If you voice one little thing, they are going to cannibalize you. That's why a lot of people left the left to go to the right, because they were just tired of being nitpicked and virtue signaled constantly. So let's actually take a look and see what was so hateful and bigoted that Asmongold said that pissed so many of these leftists off, and why they want to see him taken off the internet.
The Declaration of Independence is written in English. The State of the Union every year is spoken in English. Every law is in English. Every stop sign is English. Everything everywhere is English. It's an English country.
So they literally are trying to cancel him because he's saying that if you live in the United States of America, which is an English-speaking country, that you should speak English. Like, you're not going to know how to navigate living in this country if you don't speak English. And if you're not willing to learn, you should probably just get the fuck out.
English-speaking country. If you don't speak English, you need to go.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I believe that he's right. I think he's absolutely 1,000% based. If you can't get with the language that we're all speaking, if you can't assimilate and communicate, you don't need to be here. Like, you can absolutely go back to whatever fucking country they do clicks and type shit in, bro. Over here, we're on this English-speaking type shit. And if you don't like that, go. We didn't ask you to come here. We didn't ask you to be a thorn in the side of our progress. If you're not willing to contribute positively and be a productive member of our community and our society, you need to fucking leave. And it's not just about speaking English. It's about getting a job.
Did you catch that racist stuff he did? I'll be watching him. You catch that racist stuff he did? He did. That's what they say about Africa now. Man, I'll be watching him too. I had to cut that off.
Set up auto ship deliveries in the PetSmart app. And for instant gratification, we also have
63% of men have given up on dating, and honestly, I don't blame them one bit. Women talking about, I deserve to be courted. How you gonna be courted when you're already on the court? Make it make sense, brother.
One have to do to deserve a date being paid?
Well, so the deserve.
Well, if you go south to mouth, number one, and then number two, if you don't look like a gothic peacock that's been through a chainsaw festival, that's a pretty good start to get a date paid for.
Traditional gender role standard. We should also hold women to a traditional gender role standard, and it is the traditional women who deserve that kind of traditional treatment.
Thanks.
Women want 2026 modernity, giga-feminism for them, and you want men to be 1950s trad husbands, like in terms of their conduct and treatment of you. That seems unfair. You want a 1950s-esque man who's going to provide and protect, you should be a 1950s-esque trad wife, trad woman. That's a fair proposition.
I agree. If that's what one is going for and that's what one wants, that's fine. That's
Golly. You know, I've heard of scoliosis, but I think this woman may have scoliosis, bro. What is this look?
not specifically what me, personally, wants.
I agree that what you want is the guy to pay for the first date. There's no dispute there. My contention is if you deserve it, which I would say...
Well, that...
Well, going south to mouse, that's what I'm talking about. That's a good transaction there.
Poor Brian.
So,
yeah, we'll go to Mickey D's, baby girl. I got you. Go to Mickey D's. Well, I'll take you to Wendy's, get a 4 for $4. I heard the chili's good on Wednesdays. They make a fresh batch. We can go over there.
Okay, what is this? Renting a Japanese husband for a night out. Oh, wow.
Gary again to be my date to a wedding, and here he is.
He's a Chad. He's a straight up Chad, bro. My beautiful wife tonight. Oh, wow. I mean, this is a very dank wedding. Who can afford this stuff? My question is do you have to pay more if he beats cheeks? You know what I mean? How does that work? That's crazy. We should start an escort service here where you can rent a husband, rent a boyfriend. I feel like it'd be good. I feel like it'd be good.
You have any guy you want, and I'm like, unfortunately, both unfortunately and fortunately, I am not my type's type.
This happens to a lot of women. This is something they need to understand is, if he's good enough for you, he's good enough for a few. Should have been an eye, should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. All these women are competing for the same men, essentially, right? I call it the 95-5 complex. 95% of women are competing for the top 5% of men, but the thing is, the 95% of women, they're all kind of the same. All kind of basic. They really don't have anything unique to offer. This woman probably thinks, because her face card's semi-lethal, that she deserves a 10 out of 10 guy. Not the case.
My type doesn't like me, and that is because my type is guys that don't like me. But that's
yeah. And then also, these women, They like a guy until he reciprocates that energy, and then she's like, oh, he's not my type, and he's giving me the ick, he's giving this. It's always something where a guy, if he shows too much interest, it's too much. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you're like a lot of people, you probably rely on coffee, energy drinks, or nicotine pouches to power through your day. The downside is that they often come with the jitters, an afternoon crash, or the feeling that you just need another dose to keep going. That's one of the reasons I started using Ultra Focus pouches. Ultra is the world's best-selling nicotine-free focus pouch. Each pouch contains 6 science-backed nootropics, designed to help support concentration, mental clarity, steady energy, and memory. My routine is pretty simple. I usually use 3 or 4 pouches every day. One to get focused before I start work, another one right before a recording session, one after lunch after my energy starts to dip, and usually one later on in the afternoon. Using it couldn't be easier. You just stick one in between your lip and your gum. After a few minutes, I notice a clean, steady boost of focus that usually lasts around 1 to 2 hours. Watermelon and mint are my go-to flavors. And the biggest reason I keep using them is because they're sugar-free, there's no jitters, and there's no crashing. I get the focus I need without feeling wired or interfering with my sleep. If you're looking for a cleaner way to stay focused and productive throughout the day, give Ultra Focus pouches a shot and see why they've earned a permanent spot in my daily routine. Go get you some pouches, dude.
On themselves all the time. It's due to my comments. They've done it in real life.
Ooh, how so?
Will admit that the only reason that they are asking women out on coffee dates are to check the vibe, to see if she's worth a $200 dinner, to see if there's chemistry.
A $200 dinner? Seriously?
It's insane.
Is that what's expected now? I mean, I can see why a lot of guys would want to remain single if that's the prospect and the apparent cost of dating nowadays. Or are some individuals just being silly on purpose and actually expecting someone to spend that amount without actually getting to know them? Of course coffee dates are there to check and see if there's chemistry, if there's a vibe, because otherwise it would just be a complete waste of everyone's time, not to mention their money.
That's just immature.
Well, that's not what I'm seeing that's immature here.
I personally, I'm not going out with men who have that type of mindset where I need to prove a dinner date. Like, you can't just
Good Lord, her nose is so big, I know she can smell what the Rock is cooking. But, honey, here's the thing. You're not the prize when you're born with your value. Gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
You know what I mean? When you're born with your value, you're not the prize. I hate to be the bearer of realistic news here. But it's getting to a point where all the women want the same, top percent of men, and it's so much harder to be a high-value guy than it is a high-value woman. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Being a high-value man takes work, effort, time, energy, and resources. Being a high-value woman, you can just be out the box. You got a nice body, boom, you're halfway there. You're halfway there. It's really that simple. It's not hard. Asking girls why they're single.
Samantha. Delilah.
And are you guys single?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you guys single? I can tell, just seeing you guys.
I don't want a boyfriend. Men have commitment.
That's cap.
You're a liar!
Commit issues.
You don't want a boyfriend. Or maybe a boyfriend doesn't want you.
That's what it really is. That's what it really is. Dude, here's the thing. Think about it this way, Chad. I was doing some thinking the other day. Think about when a woman is looking to court a guy, or they're courting each other, right? They're looking to date. Women are essentially the employers, and men are the employees, right? Men are trying to get the interest of a woman. Women are marketers, and men are salesmen. So essentially, women are the ones hiring these guys, and then once the guy's hired, he gets to decide, do I want to stay at this company, or do I want to jump ship and go to another company? These women are just showing that they just pick bad men. You're a bad employer. You don't know how to pick the right guys. You're telling me you've been done dirty so many times when you get attention? Think about it this way. One woman could get attention from 20 men, but yet she still picked the wrong one. 20 guys barely get attention from one girl, but yet sometimes they pick right. Think about it. Women just don't know how to pick. They pick the wrong ones. They're bad employers. You wouldn't blame the employees of a company for hiring the wrong employees. You blame the company. These women are just like the companies in that regard.
Sorry, lady, but that sounds more like a coping mechanism than a choice.
Do you think a man should chase a woman?
Oh, 100%.
Golly, I don't know if anything's chasing her. Maybe a treadmill or a diet plan.
The chase is fun. Listen.
The chase is fun when you don't do any of the chasing and you only get chased. Come on.
You will not ever slide into a man's DM shooting my shot. That is just not, no, that's not okay. A guy that wants to pursue you, that's what a guy does. And any guy that you pursue is gonna throw you out to the gutter because you're You know, he can get you if he wants to.
What's the difference between a guy chasing and pursuing?
See, I don't like chasing. Like, I don't want a guy who's blowing up my phone when I don't want to talk to him. That's not cute. But a guy who's pursuing is gonna, like, actively try to make plans with you. And if a girl likes him, she'll do the same back. So it's not like a girl chasing, but it's a girl, like, matching the energy.
Reciprocating.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got a lot to.
Yeah, she got a lot. This reminds me of girls that I used to buck in college. Just they think they sound smart, but they just really sound dumb.
You're that easy?
Oh, that easy.
You're that easy? Not even 2 seconds in, and you already have another girl coming in?
Okay, and?
I think I want to be invisible so I can just hear everything that you say about me when I'm not there.
That'd be so.
It would, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, you said everything you needed to. That's good.
All right,
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Have
Adios.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Oh, there's a bad shorty over there. I'm about to get her.
What is that?
My girl? Nah, she's leaving.
I'm taking my phone.
Oh, yeah, she's right here.
Don't believe that.
Come here.
There's on for
Come here. I'm dead. Hey, what's your name? My name's Red Pill. Nice to meet you. You look good. Wow.
You're replaceable. And the thing is, this doesn't do anything but help his stock rise. It's only going to help him in the long run. It's not going to hurt him. Like, you think that she's really going to care. If anything, it's going to make her go more insane, want more of his attention. This is the exact cards you got to play in this world. I run dating events in London. Where are the men? I don't know, maybe running away from you.
A dating event in London called Someone's Type. We need more boys. Always need more guys. I don't know what it is. The girls that turn up to our event, stunning, gorgeous.
I'm going to be honest, she looked like a salamander. I don't know why that came to my head.
Just hilarious, intelligent, like, the most, like, just...
Yeah, we're the most hilarious, intelligent, good-looking, strong, rich, success. Where are all these guys? Working. Already in a relationship. Avoiding women like y'all in nose rings.
All of them are catches. I think it's because...
Okay. Here's another thing I hate when they're like, all the women are just so smart. They're all catches. They're all just, oh my god, these women are so unbelievable.
Always need more guys. I don't know what it is. The girls that turn up to our event, stunning, gorgeous, hilarious, intelligent, like...
If they were so all of those things, then why are they alone?
Just all of them are catches. I think it's because...
That's a lie.
You're a liar! You have to put, like, 5% effort in, but they just don't do it. But I'm telling you now, if you want to find hot women in London, they are our events. Your brothers, your sons, maybe not your sons.
Yeah, let me get my dad out there. Get my dad out there. He'll smoke some meth rocks before we'll be hyped up. Here's the thing: singles events are for one type of woman and one type of guy. Guys that are cool with being humiliated and women that are extremely picky. That's all it is. People don't go to singles events and actually get booed up. Men go to get humiliated and women go to just be extremely picky.
Every time you flush, it's like your toilet sneezes. Good thing adding Lysol disinfectant spray is 3 times more effective at stopping the spread of germs.
Chicken bacon ranch, Zaxby style. Who's got the sauce?
You use Gmail, Google Maps, Google Search, Google Calendar, Google Docs, Google Gemini. All on your phone. Seems like the next move is... yeah.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you.
Out of 10.
I don't answer.
You don't want to answer?
I'm alright. Yeah.
Holly, I can't tell if she's 23 or 39.
No, but I'm alright. She's got a great chin.
Golly, her forehead's bigger than mine. For dressing like that, too. Goodness gracious. The attention Olympics. A lot of these OF girls just stuck to the streets. But I mean, that's where they're, you know. She's a track. Why they're in the streets doing these street interviews. 45 to 50% of men nowadays. Let's see.
5 to 50% of men nowadays, like ages 18 to 25, are scared to approach a woman. mainly them
I don't think it's necessarily scared. I think it's we don't want the headache.
reporting that they're worried they're going to come off as creepy. Like women.
Yeah, see, that's not scared. That's, you know, we're more like, why would I go into a situation where I'm going to be humiliated?
They're going to find them creepy. Which is why, obviously, we have more of, like, the shift to cuff or hinge, because I think on both sides, people feel like you can maybe get to know a person a little bit better than, like, maybe having some sort of awkward interaction in person. I think it's good that we have options, right? Like people can do the dating app, or maybe if you're a little bit more confident to approach someone, like you can do that in person. But it is kind of crazy that almost like half the men out there just don't want to do it.
Well, women are extremely picky. That's the big problem. And then also a lot of these guys, they think it's just easy on dating apps for guys. Oh, you just get on a dating app, you're good to go, and you know, women are going to swipe on you, and you're just going to get all the cooch. You're going to be swimming in tuna before you know it. It's not like that, dude. The top 5% of men get all the matches. So tired of being single.
I'm genuinely so tired of being single. And I get it, don't get me wrong, being single is so fun. I've been
Being single is not fun.
single for how long? I get it. But I'm tired. Wrap it up, get a bin. I'm sick of it. I don't want to do this anymore. How many L's do I have to take? How many
You sure it's not how many D's you have to take?
more? How many more L's do I have to take is what I should say. Like 2 or 3. I give up. 5, 6. I don't know. Should I give up? I don't know. Let me know.
Oh, a woman like that, I would avoid her like the COVID-19 plague. I would just, I would stay away. I would definitely stay away with that one. Yeah, the yelling, the bird hands, it's a no for me, Chad. Chadathy, you know. What do we got?
Women are not left on the marketplace.
So why are you single at 37?
Because it's a choice. I'm a man. I'm not a woman. See, you're trying to conflate female values with male values. Not the same.
I'm just asking a question.
And I'm
Well,
answering.
no, I will say this. Not that I'm coming to John's defense, but he has a great point here. I recommend. Feel free to trash this argument. I don't care. I think most men should not even consider getting married until they're age 30. Even consider it. Okay? Most women need to full on consider marriage by the time they're 30.
Well, they need to be married by the time they're 30. Because the thing is when you're 18 to 24, it's time to sell. It's time to sell. 24 to 30, 50% off. 30 to 40, you're at Goodwill. 40 on, Salvation Army. 50 on, you talking a free sample at the frickin' mall. You need to be trying to give that thing away.
It's a different mark. I tell this story every time. I want you to be married with kids by the time you're 40 as a woman. Sure. There's different. All my best friends are 38, 41, 42, 45, millionaires crushing it, bosses. And I'm like, I'm the guy that's like, guys, 40-something years old, when are we settling down? We're doing this. And they're like, stop getting soft on me, Adam. Keep going. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to be that 50-year-old dude in the club. That ain't going to be me.
She probably hated hearing
Well,
it.
and then that's the ultimate reality that you have. You can chase success. You can chase your career, which is a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all, especially as a man. You need to have a foundation of being a successful man. But you can get lost in it and marry your career and then not build a family. You still have to build some sort of bond with a woman and a family if you want one. You have to invest in that. Because a good woman will yield very high returns, but the problem is it's just very hard to find a good woman.
That women think that men are just born great and they're just like great as soon as they get in a relationship with them. A lot of these men were either trained by the women they're with or the women before them. But let me tell you one thing, is you do not enable behavior. The moment that a man is disrespecting you by saying, I'm going to stop doing this, or I'm not going to do this, and then continues to do so, that's disrespecting you. And you know what you need to do? You need to stand your ground and say, I'm going to go. I don't need this. And that is why I say...
This is why you're alone.
Tip-top shape. I look good all the time because guess what, babe? You're going to miss out. You either respect me and you listen to what I want in life, or I'm gonna go. This is why you need to always take care of yourself. Because sometimes men are just like, come on, get some sense in your head, you know? But I don't know who's worse sometimes, the women or the men. I'm like, the women that make excuses for these men, like, oh, men are just men. Men are all the same. No, they're not. And if you found a man that's good from the start, he most likely was with another woman that was not down was not going to enable his behavior and said, I'm not putting up with this, we're done, and actually meant it. So then he learned his lesson and then found another woman and decided to give her his all.
He just found the next woman that would actually put up with what he wanted to do. I don't think you have as much sway as you think here, Rebecca.
And that's unfortunate, but that's the way it works out.
You can have all the respect in the world for yourself and just be alone. How about that? That's what you can do. Have all the respect in the world. That's why I stay looking good. She realizes it. The time clock's a ticking. The time clock is a ticking, dude. It is a straight up ticking. And 35-year-old geriatric pregnancy, it just, doesn't get easy about it. It doesn't get easy about it. All right, let's go to yesterday's video. The influencer economy has finally crashed. The market is extremely oversaturated with influencers. I completely agree. Anybody who refers to themselves as an influencer is a person to avoid. Buy my course. At least 95% of influencers just aren't that interesting and shouldn't quit their day jobs. MFers driving or recording at the same time should have their license taken away immediately. So annoying seeing it all the time. The simps funding these deluded muppets have a lot to answer for. You could care less. Well, I couldn't care less. I just did an interview today. It went really well. Wish me luck. Best of luck, brother. I respect how transparent you are with how much you make on YouTube. Very humble and grateful, and genuinely, that's one of the reasons I really like this channel. Thank you, Hiss and Tail. I appreciate that. Thanks for always posting content for us. You're very welcome. I make more than these influencers for 4 hours, 4 days a week. Delivering pizza? Bro, that smile's diabolical. It's not a real job. You get what you get. I'm watching you over 4 years, and you have 10K plus subs. Bro, I love you. Bro, thank you so much. I've only been watching like a month, just found it. Sign up to my Patreon. You're dumber than jokes are on point today. Hey, I'm glad. Yeah, I hate the way Bonnet Head is talking. I gotta F that per part. I have a wine rack and a big back. Sounds like a country song that after they hit the lottery. You guys crack me up, man, seriously. But, it's a crazy time in society right now. It really is. We live in a world where men can go out there and, do everything right, realistically, and still get done diabolically dirty. It's truly sad. It's truly sad because I believe there's a lot of men that do want to be in a marriage, want to be in a relationship, want to have a family, want to have a wife. And it's so tough, dude. It's so tough. When you have to deal with all these delusional Debbies working triple overtime at the Lululemon, thinking they all deserve the same guy, 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 inches, the mark of the beast. These women are bad employers. They can't hire the right employees. They don't realize that they don't control access to relationships. They only control access to sex. And the only reason they have a high body count is because they're letting them buck them. It's just it's a sad world. It's a sad world we live in. I'm very blessed for what I have. Because I feel like a lot of guys would love to be married and have kids. Maybe I'm wrong. But I've even seen guys like Osmongold be like, man, I really should have got married and had kids and started a family. It's the most fulfilling thing I've ever had, waking up in the morning, seeing Cass and baby Nix. It's an amazing feeling. And it gives you this drive that I've never had before, like this motivation, this drive to want to be the absolute best version of myself all the time. And set the precedent, set the standard. This way baby Nix can grow up in a world that's not full of delusion or she's addicted to an iPad, you know what I mean? Because the world's crazy right now, it really is. But man, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Actually, wait a minute. Loki, free, sit, wait, shake, wait. Free, there your place. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys on, man. Until next time, please.
No. What? Wait, Gemini and Chrome. Which of these is close to a park? Right, dog park. This might be the one. I should get a parrot.
I've done something new for this fight.
Man, help.
Our handcuffed I will show you.
Mutiny, rated R, only in theaters August 21st.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So on today's episode,
how many times on this channel have you guys heard
The Florida Everglades stretches out at sunrise like a...
Like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, do you think that they're like empowering people to be great?
I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't. I don't think that songs that are talking about like glorifying wet female genitalia.
Everybody's talking about Nicki Minaj right now because she just went to the Turning Point USA event, AmFest, where she got on stage and did an interview with Erica Kirk that was really weird. Like, Nicki was acting strange, Erica was acting strange. The whole thing was just kind of creepy and off-putting, especially Nicki made a comment about J.D. Vance, calling him the assassin, which is a really weird thing to say to somebody whose husband was just recently brutally assassinated.
Amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president.
Walmart app. She a runner, she a track star. She run a thing when they get.
And when I say that,
Now look, I've tried my best to give Erica Kirk the benefit of the doubt. The way that she's been acting, I can't wrap my mind around it. If my wife died, I would not be acting like that. But everybody grieves differently, right? That's what we keep telling ourselves over and over again, trying to make space for her and the way that she's acting. And to be honest with you, I'm just done. I can't do it anymore. But this Nicki thing is super weird to me because Charlie Kirk actively spoke out against Nicki Minaj and her music and the influence that it had on black culture, because it's really counterintuitive to basically everything that the Conservative Party and Christians would stand for. But I understand that people can change up their stance and people can be different and people can do better, except for me when it comes to sex offenders. I will never make space or forgiveness or redemption for fucking sex offenders. They need the wood chipper. And that is why I don't fuck with Nicki Minaj. And today we're going to be getting into that. So let's go. Now, most people know Nicki Minaj for what she's famous for, which is rapping about her soggy genitalia. But there's a lot of people who are arguing back and forth.
Is the free Walmart app on the App Store, is that a scam? The free Walmart app, is that a scam?
The official free Walmart app is not a scam. It's a legitimate app from Walmart for shopping, deliveries, and managing reward.
Does the free Walmart app charge me a delivery fee? It says the free Walmart app on the App Store, does it charge me a delivery fee?
The free Walmart app does apply delivery fees, unless you have a Walmart Plus membership.
Okay. Yeah.
about whether or not she deserves a place in the conservative movement. I could not care any less about that at all whatsoever. My problem with Nicki Minaj stems for her constant support of child offenders and rapists, because that's just something that I don't vibe with and I never will. And a lot of people don't know this about her, so I'm happy to be back on here again telling you guys why Nicki Minaj is an absolute trash human being.
You know, Instagram Live, and there's be a lot of people on. I'm like, I wonder how you handle that.
Yeah, and they were saying some crazy things.
Scary movie. Me and you in a scary movie. I trip and fall. You're able to get away free. You come back and help me. It's a 50% chance you're not gonna be able to get away. Do you leave me there, or do you come help me? Be honest.
I leave you there. I didn't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so bear with me here. We're all gonna need to strap on our imagination caps. I want you to imagine that you're a woman. And no, I'm not asking you to be trans. But if you were a woman, would you want to marry someone that you knew was a convicted rapist? Because that's a far stretch for me. Like, I can't get there. I can't figure out where this broad's head is at. But her husband, Kenneth Petty, is a convicted, well, attempted rapist. He was also convicted of first-degree manslaughter. But back in 1994, when he was 16 years old, Petty was convicted of first-degree attempted rape for an assault on a woman named Jennifer Hugh, who was only 16 years old at the time as well. He was sentenced to prison for this crime, with reports indicating that he served 4 years of an 18 to 54-month sentence. He is also a registered Level 2 sex offender in the state of New York. This next part, though, absolutely does bother me. Like, this is fucking gay. So, in 2019, while he was married to Nicki, they moved from New York to California. And he knew that he was a sex offender. He knew he was on the registry in New York. He knew that when he moved to California, he had to register as a sex offender there. And he just refused to do it. So he ended up catching a charge as failure to register as a sex offender in the state of California as well. So for anybody who was out there glazing Nicki, saying, oh, well, what if she didn't know? She knew, dog. She absolutely knew. But it doesn't stop there. It just keeps getting weirder. You see, Nicki Minaj's older brother, Jelani Mirage, is in prison for predatory sexual assault of an 11-year-old girl. In 2017, he was convicted of charges of predatory sexual assault against a child and endangering the welfare of a child. The assault occurred in 2015 when he was living with Minaj in his home on Long Island, New York. He was sentenced to 25 years to life. As of late 2024, he remains incarcerated and is serving his sentence at Clinton Correctional Facility. His first eligible date for parole isn't until 2045, when he is in his 60s. Now, marrying a sex offender was absolutely a choice. Like, there's no excusing that. She knew exactly what she was doing. It's not Nicki's fault that her brother ended up being a pederast, but she still supports him. And that is a choice. Like, she full-chestedly endorses her brother, even though she knows what he did to an 11-year-old child. That is disgusting. She is absolutely wretched and foul for that.
But a lot of times what happens is that we grow up in a situation where our parents don't take accountability and they don't realize that that's not okay. Because you can't actually have a healthy relationship without accountability. There's no relationship on earth that works without accountability.
I have a theory, and I want you guys to tell me if you think I'm tripping or not. So I personally think that she has changed up her whole political landscape for being super pro-LGBTQ and liberal and feminist and like women's sexual empowerment, talk about my soggy pussy all the time, to trying to infiltrate the conservative movement because she knows that there's a good chance that if she sucks up hard enough to Donald Trump and to J.D. Vance and to all these people, that there's a better chance that she might be able to get her brother a pardon. I think since she blazes for her brother so hard, and she has supported him through his entire situation legally, and since he's been in prison, that she wants to get him out, and she thinks she might have a route to be able to do so, and who knows, she might actually be able to make that happen. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe that people can have moral epiphanies and come to a better place in life. I know that that has happened to me. That is something that God definitely gave me in my life, and my life has been incredible ever since. And I don't look back, and I'm glad that I was given that grace. But I also understand that people can absolutely be manipulative, opportunistic demons, and that they can use whatever they need to. They can lie about being a good and virtuous person now, and they can put on a proper face if properly motivated to be able to do so, if they want something bad enough. And when I listened to her speak at this TPUSA event, I'm just not buying it, homie. It doesn't sell. It's not coming off as genuine or authentic. I feel the ulterior motives seeping out of her while she talks crazy with Erica Kirk.
No matter how many songs I do on that stage, it didn't mean as much as this. Because this is a direct link for younger people. This is a direct link between young people and God.
I will full on admit that I am not objective when it comes to people who support sex offenders. I think that if you sympathize for and support sex offenders, you are just as guilty and disgusting as they are, and that you need to go in the fucking wood chip.
For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy.
So maybe I'm misreading this, but what do you think? Let me know down in the comments, and until the next one, it's always one love, baby. Be good or be good.
Be good, be good.
Recently, Charlotte posted, "So it is simple in my dream. Woke up, drew it. Fascinating stuff. At Dream Cloud, we produce better dreams. So let's help Charlotte out."
Till water's dry, planet.
Now that's a dream worth sharing.
Serpent. Humiliation. Humiliation. Who was there? Who was there?
The cops ripped this girl out of the car. Her boyfriend comes to her defense and ends up getting beat down in front of her and his mom. Check this out.
I know this.
You have your license, man?
I do have my license.
The reason we pulled you over is when you guys turned out, you made an improper right.
Improper right?
Yep. An improper right is when you basically make a right-hand turn and you're doing
I know exactly.
We were just at.
You have a medical marijuana card?
I don't have a medical marijuana card.
No, I wasn't driving earlier. I was
She was just
maybe sitting, but I wasn't.
Well, she was sitting.
Why were you watching this?
He actually asked the police officer, "Why are you watching us?" That's what they literally do for a living. Watch people.
Yeah, I was just doing that.
Alright, you have an idea?
I'm just asking.
Okay, we'll step up because we both smell marijuana, so step up. Step up.
Step out of the car. Okay, step out of the car, I'll pull you out.
Yeah, the car saw me smell weed and they're trying to pull me out and be like,
okay,
that's some stuff.
Dude, get off the phone.
Ma'am, step out of the car. I do have the right.
Come over here.
What's 7-Eleven?
Ma'am, step out of the car.
Over there. Don't touch me.
Ma'am, I'm about to grab you.
Don't
Step out of the car.
Don't you dare touch me.
Yes, out.
Don't you dare touch me.
Stop, stop. Stop, 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 stop.
Yeah, they just did this literally because
And they just slammed her on the ground
What's your badge number?
Hey, get back.
What's your badge
Get
number?
back. You want to go to jail too?
Alright.
Get on the sidewalk.
Just stand here.
Get up. Hey, don't walk up to that car.
This dude's trying to get shot. I'm telling you, he's trying to get shot. These people love to get shot at.
Okay.
Just can you come try over here for me, man?
This retard is still on the phone.
Do not put your hands on me. Quit touch you.
I'm putting my hand.
Okay.
He said, if you put your hands on me, I will put my hands on you. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea to a hot functioning retard.
Do not put your hands on me. Quit touch you.
I'm putting my hand.
Okay. No reason. Stop walking away then.
Go,
Walk
retard!
Walk over there.
I'm not walking nowhere. I'm staying on the sidewalk like you just told me.
Okay.
You said I go on the sidewalk. I'm on the sidewalk.
His prefrontal cortex is overheating.
I am not in the difference, you dumbass. You're a rookie. You said go on the sidewalk. I'm on the sidewalk. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying on the sidewalk.
Hey, grab it.
I'm staying on the sidewalk. I'm not going nowhere. I'm staying on this. No.
These two idiots were meant for each other.
I'm not moving. I'm staying on the sidewalk. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything, dude. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing.
You're actually resisting right now, so you're not doing nothing.
I wasn't doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. No.
Dude.
Oh, your hands. Oh.
Give us your hands.
High functioning retard.
Oh. Stop.
Oh.
Stop. Okay, stop reaching.
You about to break my neck?
Okay, stop. Let go of your hands. Go of your hands. Let go of your hands.
That dude still got his cell phone right here.
Stop.
Dude, I'm not doing nothing. Please stop. Please freaking stop. Please stop. Ow! Ow!
Stop.
Stop. Yes, for that.
Just let go.
Ow! 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 You! I'm not doing nothing.
Dude, just stop. Give us your hands. I've said it 100 times.
Ow! In my arms. Oh my God. Ow! 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 Ow!
Oh. Come reach in the pocket.
Oh! Ow! Ow! I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
Okay.
So funny, man. These people can never breathe. I can't breathe.
Water!
Stop. Sit up. Bring your feet.
Help me! Ow! That water, please. Mr. Murphy, please. Murphy, there's nothing in my pockets, I swear to God. Ow, my arm. Ow. Mister. Ow, stop. Move your arm. Dude, my arm, dude, my elbow. Move your arm like that, please. Please move your arm. Move your arm from under my elbow. Dude, why does it feel like that? I think my arm's broken. I was saying my arm's broken.
I think he's got 0 on his hands.
Don't grab it. Oh, do not.
Stop. Back up.
Hey, I just pulled this out of his ass, okay? Yes, so get back. Mom, I did not have that on me.
This dude thinks the cops don't have body cameras on. Everything's being recorded. Mom, I didn't have it on. That guy's gonna fix everything.
Ma'am, step back. This just came out of his pants, okay? Just step back. Step back.
Well, we understand where he gets his behavior from.
Hello? 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 What it do? Hello?
Hello, this is New Vista calling to remind Clifford that you have an appointment scheduled for the 10th of August, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. Please contact us at least 24 hours in advance if you must cancel your appointment. Thank you. Thank you for confirming your appointment. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you for calling the New Vista Vegas County Office. If you are experiencing a medical emergency, hang up and
Hey, how's it going? I was calling to see if I got a van ride from New Vista for my appointment on the 10th of August at 3:30.
What's your birth?
June 27th, 1983.
Is it Clifford Oliver?
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like the van is scheduled to pick you up between 2:30 and 3. Look at the appointment is 3:30 to 4, and then drop off 4 to 4:30.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Of course, anything else I can help you with?
No, ma'am.
Alright, have a good one.
You too. We built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
Yes, you do. To conceal it, you do, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. And it's not holstered. I don't carry my firearm in my underwear. Okay, clinched between my butt cheeks. That's exactly where it was, and that's what my report's gonna say.
Man, I was literally doing everything they said. They said go on the sidewalk. I went on the sidewalk. They started like walking up on me. I said, I'm on the phone, can you please not grab me? And then he kept walking up with me. I listened to everything they said. Everything they said. Yeah, wait, do they have the body cam footage, though, right? Oh, yeah, dude.
Dude, what do you think's on that body camera footage? And they found a gun on you. But thank God they got that body camera footage, right? Hey, if you support the show, go to officialhorsetwins.com. Right now, we give away a Jeep Gladiator, 10,000 cash. Every purchase you make on the website gets you automatically entered to win. Our shirts or hats. Yeah.
Whether you age isn't up to you, but how you do is.
Edge of 29, coaching.
Breaking news.
Snoop.
There comes a moment in every empath's life when something inside them goes completely silent, not broken, not angry, just done. Carl Jung discovered this wasn't depression or emotional exhaustion. He called it the final stage of spiritual awakening, and it terrifies everyone who witnesses it. Because when an empath stops caring, they don't become cruel. They become untouchable. And that changes everything. Jung spent decades studying patients who reached this state. What he found challenges everything we think we know about empathy, spirituality, and personal transformation. The moment the empath stops caring isn't the end of their journey, it's the beginning of something far more powerful. And understanding why this happens might be the most important psychological insight you'll ever encounter. Before we understand why empaths stop caring, we need to see what brings them to that edge. Jung documented a consistent pattern across his most sensitive patients. These weren't people who occasionally felt things deeply. These were individuals whose entire nervous system functioned as an emotional receiver for everyone around them. They walked into rooms and immediately absorbed the psychological atmosphere. Family dinners left them exhausted from managing everyone's unspoken tensions. Friendships drained them because they carried both sides of every conflict. Romantic relationships nearly destroyed them because they felt their partner's pain more intensely than their partner did. Jung called these individuals the emotional shock absorbers of their social systems. They didn't just empathize with suffering, they absorbed it, processed it, and somehow transmuted it so others could function. Parents dumped their anxiety onto them. Siblings used them as free therapists. Partners treated them like emotional support animals who existed solely to manage their moods. And here's what made Jung's observations so disturbing. These empaths never complained. They accepted this role as their purpose. They believed their sensitivity was meant to serve others, that their gift obligated them to sacrifice their own peace for everyone else's comfort. They wore their exhaustion like a badge of honor, proof they were good people who cared enough to suffer. The cultural conditioning ran deep. From childhood, they had been praised for being understanding, for making others feel better, for keeping the peace. Every time they suppressed their own needs to accommodate someone else, they received validation. Every time they absorbed someone's anger to prevent conflict, they were told they were mature beyond their years. This positive reinforcement created a pattern of self-abandonment that felt like virtue. But Jung noticed something the empaths themselves couldn't see yet. Behind their compassionate facade, their psyche was keeping records. Every manipulation, every betrayal, every moment someone took advantage of their kindness. The empath's unconscious mind wasn't just absorbing these experiences randomly. It was cataloging patterns with surgical precision. Consider a composite case profile that illustrates this dynamic perfectly. We see this pattern in the narrative of an individual who spent 15 years managing their family's dysfunction. They knew exactly which words would trigger their mother's guilt trips. They understood the precise emotional sequence their father used to avoid accountability. They could predict when siblings would manufacture crises to regain attention. They had mapped every psychological game being played around them with the accuracy of a cartographer charting familiar territory. But here's what Jung found most remarkable. Despite possessing this knowledge, they never weaponized it. Not once. They just kept absorbing, kept caring, kept giving, until something fundamental inside them began to crack. Their consciousness had become a detailed archive of everyone else's patterns, while their own needs remained buried under layers of service and sacrifice. This created what Jung identified as a dangerous psychological split. On the surface, the empath appeared functional, even thriving in their role as caretaker. But beneath that surface, resentment was accumulating like pressure in a sealed container. Not conscious resentment that could be expressed and released, but unconscious resentment that poisoned their sense of self. The breaking point always came from betrayal, not simple disappointment or minor conflict. Profound betrayal from someone the empath had protected, defended, and loved unconditionally. Jung documented this trigger point across dozens of cases, identifying it as the catalyst that forces shadow integration. Let's examine a narrative illustration that demonstrates this pattern. Consider the story of someone who discovered their partner's infidelity after years of managing that partner's emotional instability, depression, and anxiety. Or perhaps the adult child who learned their parent had been speaking cruelly about them behind their back, after decades of serving as the family's emotional glue and mediator. Or the friend who discovered devastating lies after years of carrying secrets and providing unconditional support. What made these betrayals so destructive wasn't just the act itself. It was the empath's sudden recognition that they had seen the warning signs all along and ignored them. Their intuition had screamed the truth for months or years, but they had silenced it. They had chosen to believe the best in someone who was showing them exactly who they were. They had betrayed themselves to maintain their fantasy of who others could become. This self-betrayal cut deeper than the external betrayal. The empath realized they had participated in their own exploitation. They had ignored their inner voice, dismissed their gut feelings, and overridden their boundaries to maintain relationships that were destroying them. The anger they felt wasn't just toward the betrayer. It was toward themselves, for allowing it to continue long after they knew better. Empaths aren't broken. They're alchemists in progress. The Alchemist's Path gives you drills, young-based boundaries, and 3 exclusive chapter videos to turn overwhelm into clarity. By Surreal Mind, 236-page downloadable ebook in stock. Begin now at thesurrealmind.com. That realization shattered something fundamental. Not their heart, their illusions. Jung called this the withdrawal of projections. The empath had been projecting goodness, potential, and innocence onto people who didn't possess these qualities. They had been seeing not who people were, but who the empath desperately wanted them to be. When those projections finally collapsed, the empath didn't cry or rage or fall apart the way everyone expected. Instead, something far more terrifying happened. They became quiet, unnaturally calm. Their eyes changed, not with tears, but with clarity. The fog lifted, and for the first time in their lives, they saw reality, without the distortion of their desperate hope. Jung described this moment as one of the most chilling psychological transformations he had ever witnessed in his clinical practice. The empath stopped performing emotional labor. They stopped managing other people's feelings. They stopped explaining, justifying, or apologizing for their own needs. They didn't announce these changes. They didn't make dramatic declarations. They simply stopped participating in the dysfunctional systems they had been holding together. Family members who had relied on them to mediate conflicts suddenly found themselves having to face each other directly. Partners who had used them as emotional crutches discovered they could no longer provoke the familiar reactions. Friends who had treated them as free therapists encountered boundaries where endless availability used to be. The empath had withdrawn their energy from the emotional economy that depended on their exploitation. And here's what made this transformation so disturbing to others. The empath wasn't angry. Anger would have been familiar, manageable, something others could work with or manipulate. They knew how to handle the empath's anger, because it always dissolved back into forgiveness and resumed caretaking. This wasn't anger. This was complete indifference to the emotional games that used to control them. People around them tried everything to provoke the old responses. They manufactured crises. They played victim. They guilt-tripped and manipulated. But nothing worked. The empath had unplugged from the emotional matrix that once controlled them. They watched these attempts with detached curiosity, like a scientist observing predictable behavior in a laboratory setting. Jung identified this as the integration of the shadow. Every empath carries a shadow self they've been taught to deny. The part of them that's selfish, that prioritizes their own needs, that refuses to save people from themselves. Society had convinced them this shadow was evil, something to be suppressed and overcome. Religious teachings told them selflessness was virtue. Cultural narratives praised endless sacrifice. Family systems rewarded their self-abandonment. But Jung understood that this shadow wasn't evil. It was the empath's survival instinct. It was their psychological immune system trying to protect them from being consumed by others' dysfunction. When the betrayal finally forced them to integrate this shadow, they didn't become cruel. They became complete. The selfish shadow merged with the compassionate light, creating something society had never prepared for. An empath who could feel everything, but chose consciously where to direct that feeling. An empath who saw through manipulation, but no longer felt obligated to pretend they didn't. An empath who loved deeply, but only those who had earned access to that love through reciprocity and respect. This is what Jung meant by the final stage of spiritual awakening, not transcending the ego, but integrating all aspects of the self into conscious choice. The empath had spent their entire life caring for others at their own expense. Now they were learning to care for themselves with the same intensity they had once given away so freely. This wasn't selfishness. This was self-preservation, finally being honored as sacred.
This is what protein should taste like. New Purely Elizabeth Protein Ancient Grain Granola.
We have a stowaway. My number 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna help you come back for everybody. Tell me what you want. Vengeance, mutiny, rated R.
Hi, excuse me, Miss, hello. What if I told you I could get you some money right now? I wouldn't believe you. Okay, let's get out your phone. Down.
Wait, you can declutter on Vinted? Yep, earn cash from homeware, fashion.
The shift in energy was immediate and unmistakable. Where the empath had once radiated warmth indiscriminately, they now emanated something more selective. Not coldness, but consciousness. They no longer leaked emotional energy to anyone who demanded it. Their presence felt different, grounded, impenetrable. They had become what Jung called selectively empathetic. This selectivity looked like boundaries to some and cruelty to others. The empath stopped responding to manipulative texts immediately. They let phone calls from energy vampires go to voicemail. They said no to requests that once would have guilted them into automatic yes. They stopped attending family gatherings that left them emotionally devastated. They ended friendships that had always been one-sided. They walked away from people they had spent years trying to save. But here's what outside observers missed. The empath hadn't stopped caring about these people. They had stopped caring about maintaining relationships that required them to betray themselves. They had stopped caring about being liked by people who had never truly valued them. They had stopped caring about keeping peace in systems built on their silent suffering. The empath finally understood a truth that Jung had tried to teach for decades. You can't love others well until you love yourself first. Not the shallow self-love of narcissism, but the deep self-respect that refuses to participate in your own destruction. This was the foundation that had always been missing from their relationships. In the workplace, this transformation manifested as professional boundaries that shocked colleagues. Consider a composite example based on strictly observed patterns in Jung's later writings. We see this dynamic clearly in workplace scenarios, where the individual who used to absorb everyone's stress and manage office drama simply stopped. They completed their work excellently, but no longer took on others' responsibilities. They attended meetings, but no longer smoothed over conflicts that weren't theirs to fix. They remained pleasant, but impenetrable to the emotional manipulations that used to derail them. Managers who had relied on them to do three people's jobs suddenly faced someone who worked their contracted hours and nothing more. Co-workers who had dumped their problems on them encountered polite redirection to appropriate resources. The office dynamic shifted because the empath had removed themselves from the role of universal emotional dumping ground. Productivity sometimes suffered initially because the system had been designed around their expectations. In family systems, the changes were even more dramatic. Let's look at a narrative illustration of this pattern. The empath, who had always hosted holidays, mediated feuds, and absorbed everyone's dysfunction, stopped performing these functions. Not with announcements or confrontations. They simply became unavailable for the roles they had been unconsciously assigned since childhood. Parents who had treated them as emotional support discovered boundaries. Siblings who had exploited their generosity encountered limits. Extended family who had taken them for granted faced a version of the empath they didn't recognize. Someone who smiled politely but didn't engage with drama. Someone who loved from a distance rather than drowning in proximity. Someone who said that doesn't work for me without explanation or apology. The family often responded with shock and accusations. How could you be so selfish? What happened to you? You've changed. And the empath would simply nod, because yes, they had changed. They had finally stopped setting themselves on fire to keep others warm. The most profound shift happened in romantic relationships. Empaths who reached this stage either transformed their partnerships completely or ended them without the usual agony. Partners who had relied on the empath's endless forgiveness suddenly faced accountability. Behaviors that had been tolerated for years were no longer acceptable. The empath stopped explaining why certain things hurt them. They simply removed themselves from situations that violated their peace. Some partners rose to meet this new version of the empath. They recognized they had been taking advantage of someone extraordinary and chose to become worthy of that person. These relationships evolved into something healthier, more balanced, built on mutual respect rather than one-sided emotional labor. The partnership transformed from parent-child dynamics to two sovereign adults choosing each other. Other partners couldn't adapt. They missed the version of the empath who absorbed their dysfunction, managed their emotions, and asked for nothing in return. When they tried old manipulation tactics and found them ineffective, they often left, searching for a new empath to exploit. And the awakened empath let them go without the usual pain, recognizing the departure as protection rather than loss. Jung observed that this indifference caused panic in the empath's social circle, not because the empath became mean or vindictive, but because their absence revealed how much dysfunction they had been concealing. Family systems that seemed functional fell apart without the empath holding them together. Friendships that seemed deep revealed themselves as parasitic. Workplaces that ran smoothly descended into chaos without the empath's invisible emotional labor. The people who had benefited from the empath's unconscious servitude suddenly understood what they had lost. But by then, the empath had moved beyond caring about their realization. This wasn't revenge. This was sovereignty. The empath had finally learned that their gift wasn't meant to be given to everyone, but protected and shared only with those who valued it. Jung called this state psychologically invincible, not because nothing could hurt the empath anymore, but because they had integrated their capacity to feel everything with the wisdom to choose their responses. They could still sense others' pain, read emotional atmospheres, and perceive unspoken truths. But these perceptions no longer controlled them. They had become the conscious director of their own empathy, rather than its unconscious slave. This is where Jung's research revealed something beautiful and terrifying. These awakened empaths developed abilities that made them nearly impossible to manipulate. They could identify narcissists within minutes of meeting them. They recognized love bombing, future faking, and gaslighting before these tactics could take root. They sensed inauthentic energy and simply didn't engage with it. Their integrated consciousness functioned as an early warning system that protected them automatically. But they didn't use these abilities destructively. They could have weaponized their psychological insight to destroy everyone who had hurt them. They possessed intimate knowledge of others' vulnerabilities, fears, and weaknesses. Yet they chose not to retaliate. They simply removed toxic people from their lives and moved forward. This restraint came not from weakness, but from genuine disinterest in revenge. Jung was disturbed by this restraint, not because he wanted them to seek revenge, but because he recognized how much power they were choosing not to abuse. These empaths had become psychological masters who understood human nature at levels most people never reach. They could manipulate, control, and devastate if they chose. Instead, they used their power to protect their peace and help others who were ready to grow. This selective application of their gifts created what Jung called the empath's mirror effect. Their mere presence made inauthentic people uncomfortable. Manipulators felt exposed without the empath saying a word. Energy vampires sensed they couldn't feed and moved on to easier targets. Meanwhile, authentic people felt safe around the awakened empath for the first time, recognizing someone who saw them clearly without judgment. The awakened empath became a living filter. Their consciousness automatically repelled dysfunction and attracted growth. They didn't have to actively vet people anymore. Their integrated presence did it naturally. Those who couldn't handle their clarity removed themselves.
Clavicular has been blowing up all across the internet the last few days, ever since his arrest in the state of Florida. And today,
what if the very struggle you're trying to destroy
ladies and gentlemen, Sydney Starr has been arrested for having some inappropriate contact with 14-year-old. I don't know how true or false it is, but I'm just glad she done got arrested. Why? Because Sydney Starr is the one that ruined Chingy's career. Chingy was a platinum selling artist, and out of nowhere, here comes Sydney Starr, took a picture with the man, and then accused him of them having relations together. And the messed up part about it is that a bunch of people became fans of this random person that just came out.
Starbucks Refreshers Concentrate.
Hey everyone, it's Rachel Bonnie here, and I know you might be busy, but I'd love to invite you to stop and pray with me real quick. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sydney Starr has been arrested for having some inappropriate contact with 14-year-old. I don't know how true or false it is, but I'm just glad she done got arrested. Why? Because Sydney Starr is the one that ruined Chingy's career. Chingy was a platinum selling artist, and out of nowhere, here comes Sydney Starr, took a picture with the man, and then accused him of them having relations together. And the messed up part about it is that a bunch of people became fans of this random person that just came out. He was like, oh, well, me and Chingy was together, and then he didn't know that I was a man. The story wasn't even true. Sydney Starr even came out and said, yes, I was lying about the whole thing, but by then the damage had been done. And then she had just been frolicking around all this time, being a C-plus list celebrity. Meanwhile, Chingy had to go and rebuild his whole damn life after labels didn't want to call him back, and he got, just the whole thing. Blacklisted from the whole industry. Had to be a platinum seller. Ain't that something?